Hi and welcome to Purrfect Date. This just came out today, it's on Steam, and it describes itself as a tat dating simulator, which looks a little bit similar to things like Hatterful Boyfriend, and, well, thinking about it, probably all of those really popular Japanese dating simulators, which already exist out there, that are probably more popular than Hatterful Boyfriend ever was. But this you can date tats in this one, so it's probably better already. Let's play as her, and let's go with Hannah. Yep, that works. So let's get started. I'm an angel, and I accept. That's fine. Please don't turn off the DM. No problem. So I've got no idea what this is about, bar the very short email I received when I got the DM. I'm not sure how long we've been sailing, but it feels like forever. I'm not feeling too well now, so it's a huge relief to hear the death lad shout, "Island approach! Make yourself ready!" Thanks, Joe. I appreciate that. I like the art style very much. It looks really, really nice. What are these stats I've got here? Ooh, look at that. I'm finally here. When I applied last month, I was just another broke student living off baked beans and didn't really think they had the chance of being accepted to be part of the prestigious Tat Island research team. Yet here it is, the little black dot in the distance grown bigger by the second is the infamous Tat Island, the place I will call home for the next few months. My heart momentarily skips a beat. What if there's been a mistake? What if they accepted someone else's application and accidentally sent the offer to me? I rummage about in my bag until I find the papers. DPRI, Dear Hannah, we are pleased to be able to offer you the position of Research Assistant to Professor Purrfect, you did it, at a research facility on Tat Island. The position will be for an initial period of 8 weeks. Your contract will be sent separately. We look forward to working with you. Yours sincerely, Professor Purrfect. Excellent. Nope, no mistake. That's my name right there in the top left-hand corner, Hannah. And there's his name at the bottom, the genius behind this whole operation. Professor Purrfect, science genius and my new boss. I looked up from my papers to see dry land rapidly approaching before us. It seems to be surrounded by a huge barrier of impenetrable black rods. As we get closer, we're not slowing down, and I begin to worry that we're going to crash into them. Then at the very last moment, we take the sharp turn to the left, and suddenly we're sailing smoothly towards a jetty through an opening in the rods. I blow out the breath that I've been holding and breathe into a smile. Nicely done, Stipper! The ferryman comes out from behind the steering wheel, ignoring my attempts at camaraderie, and shouts rather brusquely, "This is Bob. Take all your belongings, we'll be back for days, so don't leave nothing you'll need." Thank you. I smile weakly at the ferryman and his son and pick up my bags, ready to disembark. We glide seamlessly up to the wooden jetty and the son leaps ashore to tie us off. He's greeted by a bulky man in a uniform, who I take to be a security officer of some kind. It's quite well written, really. Normally I've played things like this. The art style is really nice. I really like the way this game looks. I love how these match. I love these little, like, almost like, not crayon-y, but you know what I mean. Like, really nice and simplistic backgrounds. That's good. Joe. "Sir, thought you were a mouse." And then he laughs loudly as though he said the funniest thing he's ever heard. It's very disconcerting. And these are... The security guard remains surly and turns his attention to me. "Let's be having you then." He holds out his large hand, which I assume is enough to help me off the boat, but as I reach out to take it, he snatches it away, throwing me off balance that I almost fall over the side. What a great start. ID card. Oh, I see, of course. I reach into my back pocket and hand over the laminated card I was given on the mainland. Hannah. Date issued January of this year. Nice. That in a little rubber ring. What is this deal? He barely looked at it before striding off, grunting over his shoulder. This way. This is nice. Look how nice and colourful this is. I follow him down a dirt track path and get my first proper view of the island. It's beautiful, lush and green. I'm already under its spell. Yeah, me too. After no more than a couple of minutes trekking, we're in base camp, which consists of an assortment of tents and huts. Among them are 2 more solid-looking structures, one larger and one smaller. I presume these are the labs. The whole camp is moderate but functional. It reminds me of an army outpost. I was struck by the lack of people. In fact, there's no one around apart from an old woman sitting outside, peeling a pile of potatoes. I smile and give her a little nod, but she just stares back at me. It's Mrs. Marigold? Okay. I try not to get paranoid. Here. He stopped at the largest of the tents, indicating that I should go inside. I feel rude just walking in, so I make my presence known first. Hello? A firm but friendly voice calls out. Come. Oh, there he is. There's Professor Purrfect himself. I walked in and there he is, hunched over some documents. The great Professor Pauper. Sir, it's an honour to meet you. Yes, yes. You must be Hannah. Come on in, my dear. Glad to have you on board the journey. I'm doing voices, apparently. Well, Lon, yes, indeed. We're rather tucked away here. Let me offer you some refreshment. Water, toffee, something stronger, perhaps, whiskey. It would be rude to let you drink whiskey on your own. Oh, well, if you haven't one, it'd be rude to let you drink whiskey on your own. Jolly good, I can tell you and I then get along famously. He takes a swig from a bottle and passes it to me. I try not to show my self-consciousness and surreptitiously wipe the net with my sleeve before taking a modest sip. It'll take you a while to find your way around and discover how it all works. So for today, I thought I would just let you it out and maybe introduce you to some of the locals. The Tats, that is. I believe we've already met most of the human locals. Oh, I've only met the ferryman and the security guard who brought me here. Yep, that's about it. And the lady outside? Ah, Mrs. Marigold. Her and her husband are the caretakers. Wonderful couple, the Marigolds. You'll meet them before too long. We're a tidy little family here, Hannah, and I'm sure you'll fit in nicely. Thank you, sir. I hope so. Okay, so first things first, this is your basic kit. He begins going through a pile of things on his desk, displaying each of them in turn. This is your backpack. You can put everything in it. We'll be going on plenty of field trips, so it'll be very useful. As will your own water bottle, some disinfectant hand spray. Ah, these are heavy-duty reinforced gloves, which were essential when tadding tats out in the wild. Don't want any scratches from felines we don't know now, do we? Well, I suppose not. I've just stopped doing his voice, haven't I? I just realised. I shove each item into my new backpack as he gives them to me. Likewise, these doddles are brought along on all field trips. It's not like the voice I was doing before. This lot here, he indicates to a small pile of what looks like laundry. His basic uniform, lab coats, masks, stethoscope, etc. Portable first aid kit, camping knife with all tool attachments. Finally, and without doubt, most importantly, this! He holds up something that looks a lot like the mobile phone, except it clearly isn't one. This is your Tatalod. Tatalod. Tatalod? Yes, the name comes from its earliest version. It was initially designed to record and store data on the Tats, scan them and log their details, but as you see, we've come a long way since then. Now you can use it to communicate with the rest of our team. I've added everyone's contact details for you. Listen to music, take photos, there's even a pen that comes with it to insert microchips into the back of the Tats nets so that we keep track of them. It is a very valuable piece of equipment, Hannah, and I need you to protect it above all else, do you understand? He's looking me directly in the eye and clearly expects a response. Yes sir, of course I'll look after it. Good, you'll get to know all the functions as you go along, but for now, I suggest we take a stroll and see if we can't find a few friends to introduce you so that you can try it out. He hands me the gadget. I feel a bit nervous taking charge of it, but also really keen to have a go. Alright, yeah, let's keep going. Very standard adventure novel, visual novel fare so far. It's good. Well written. I like the characters. We head down to the beach, the professor explaining things as we go. The mixture of terrain on Tat Island is quite unique. Even in such a relatively small area, you'll find forests, mountains, jungle, beaches, woodland. All of these different geological and ethological zones in one place, it really is most remarkable. It certainly is. Even the lack of wildlife is in of itself quite remarkable. What do you mean, Professor? Well, put simply, there's a type of force field that surrounds the island, disallowing anything to enter. Oh yeah. You mean literally anything? Absolutely, no birds, fish, or creatures of any kind can penetrate it. Forgive my lack of intelligence on the subject, but, we're here? The Professor lets out a disconcertingly loud laugh. Oh, I see what you mean. Well, there is of course one small break in this invisible wall, and that's where we built the jetty. But let's not get too bogged down in all this right now. Fair enough, it's plot convenience. What you do need to know is that basically the island is shaped like a peanut. He has picked up a nearby stick and draws a simple map in the sand. Now, that's a peanut. This, our end of the island, is very well known to us now. We've been researching here for many years. The other end is not so familiar to us. We've encountered difficulties that have hindered our progress in the region. What? What the hell was that? What type of difficulties, Professor? Well, we're not as sure as we'd like to be, but what I can tell you is that the environment has an adverse effect upon humans, inducing nausea at the very least. And at the worst, fainting, migraines, possible nerve damage. Gosh, that is serious. As I say, it's best to keep away, but let's not go into all that now, my dear. Bit of a mystery then. Got a bit of a mystery on this end of the island. You've had a long day. For now, let's just say that we refer to the far end of the island as the danger zone with good reason. I must ask you not to put yourself at risk by venturing beyond this mountain range here. He refers to the map once more, drawing a line just past the centre and an X through the end section. There are wild, aggressive tats out there. I wouldn't want you getting too close to them. Ooh, are they bad boys? I hope there's hot tat bad boys that I can smooch on the lips. Unlike our lovely fellows closer to home. He's led me to a spot where a few tats are lounging about. What do you say we try out your tat-a-lod now, Hannah? He stoops down and picks up one of the animals, a disgruntled-looking tat, who is sleeping under the shade of a palm tree. Oh, look, he's evil-looking. The tat lets out a displeased mewl, but doesn't struggle, its large body billowing with long orange fur, just sort of hands in the professor's arms in a lazy resignation. Would you like to have a thought standing this delightful chap? I find the on switch and somewhat timidly activate it. The gadget immediately comes to artificial life, emitting even, a boop 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 sound with a red pulsating light. I select the app told Tatstan. Toast is told that, and it loads instantly. There's no delay on this then. The professor holds the tat towards me with arms outstretched. I'm sure he said the standing chip is implanted into the back of the net somewhere, but it's difficult to find this one's net amidst the thick cloud of fur. I blow to make the parting and press the tat-a-lod to his stin. It's a bit like standing groceries in the supermarket where I used to work. That should do it! And he plops the marmalade Tom bat into the shade. Sure enough, upon withdrawal, I find the tat has been successfully stand. Floofy butt! Incredible! Meow. Still. Floofy Bud, he's a male, he's 10 years and 4 months, he's a red tabby Persian, he's got red eyes. Cute. Amazing. Clever, isn't it? A large part of your job here will be to tat and stand the tats, such as Mr. Floofy Bud here, but it looks like you'll have no problems at all in that area. Excellent work, Hannah. Thank you, sir. I can't wait to get started. Well, why don't you get a bit more practice with the tat-a-lod and stand the rest of them while we're here? These 5 spend a lot of time together. They're like a little family, aren't you? Oh, yes, you are. The professor seems to be a genuine tat lover like me. I think we're going to get on great. Out I hear those, no help this time. The professor steps back. The first tat I approach is very friendly, with beautiful Tolito Martins that comes towards me already purring. Oh, Tritsy. Hey, Tritsy. Female. Eye colour green. Next is an elegant, sleek, hairless tat sitting gracefully in the sun. She doesn't pay me much attention and allows me to stand her with minimal fuss. Ugh, snooty booty. Yeah, she looks very snooty. Snooty little cheaty wint. The fourth tat I approach is a noisy one. Oh, McMurphy! Not the McMurphy! He's a handsome tat. McMurphy, is it yours? Yeah. And finally, the one I've deliberately put off until last. He's been stilting around the edges of the activity, eyeing me suspiciously, though they pounce at any moment. I laugh at myself, already projecting personalities onto these animals. Oh, it's Tibbles! Tibbles is ugly! Tibbles is hideous! Hey Tibbles, you're 3 years old. All done, I hope you enjoyed meeting some of the locals. The professor lets out a little laugh. I have a feeling you get to know them quite well in time. That's probably enough for your first day, don't you think? There's quite a lot to take in. I'm suddenly exhausted, despite being middle of the day. And Grape will be heading back to town. Oh, there's the tats. Oh, this is good. This is, you know, it's standard, well written. You know, the characters, which is all you want. Very nice to just look at. It's quite late by the time I've unpathed and settled myself, but I want to write my journal entry before I sleep. I'm surprised at how chilly it is. I pull my sleeping bag right up to my chin, but still feel loose pimples bloom all over my arms. Shivering, I rub them to warm myself up. It makes me smile to think that this inherent reaction to the cold is what will be keeping my new feline friends warm tonight. My eyelids close, thinking of tats. It's my life right there, really. My eyelids close, thinking of tats. Do love tats. Have a tat. He's a little shit. Has terrible diarrhea at the moment, to be honest. It's not quite what you want to know in this video, but it's awful diarrhea. It just spraying it all over the house, it's terrible. The world around me drifts away as I float into a dream. Oh. There's some sinister things happening, I think. I'm not sure how long I've been asleep, but I wake with a violent jaw that leaves me sitting bolt upright. It's too dark to see anything, but I hear a rustling, then a strange electronic noise. One that in my sleepy confusion I can't place right away. Boop, boop, boop. The tat-a-lod. After an instant, I scramble to my feet and follow the noise out of the tent. I look around me, my fears are confirmed when I catch sight of a pulsing red light getting fainter in the direction of the forest. I snap into action, running as fast as I can, barefoot, dressed in my pyjamas, running at full speed into the forest in the dark of night. I must be crazy. The words of Professor Purrfect are ringing in my ears. I need you to protect it above all else. My voice changes constantly, depending on how much I can be bothered to speak it out loud. Oh, there's all these little tat monuments. My legs are trembling beneath me. I stop, feeling my heartbeat heavy throughout my body. I wheeze in and out, my breath billowing in front of me in white puffs. I shouldn't feel like this. Why am I so dizzy? I try to get my bearings and realise I've blundered perilously close to the danger zone. Oh no! They're these fuckers! I can just make out the shapes of some large animals in front of me before my eyes close and I drop to my knees. Ooh. I open my eyes. The little tat I stand yesterday is sitting in front of me. She drops the tattlelod at my feet. Oh, that's nice of her. Oh. I pass out. What's going on in this crazy world? Oh. That was Floofybud's talking to me. Should we do a voice for Floofybud? Hello, can you hear me? Oh, bit Murphy. Are you all tired? Try to do an Irish accent. Are you all tired? No, I can't do an Irish accent. What is it? Don't be ridiculous, Tibbles. It's a human. Oh yeah, I can smell it now. Smells like the human. Tibbles is freaking me out. I don't like them. Hey, do be quiet. Are they alive? Of course it's alive. It's breathing, you imbecile. Why isn't it moving? Would you come on and give him some space? Move back a bit. Yes, stand back. Move out of my way. Let me have a proper lot. I can't keep doing these voices. It's ridiculous. I bump into them too. The Sphinx tat is standing over me as I open my eyes. We stare at each other for a moment while I try and take in what's happening. Is this one defective? Oh, I feel sick. I'm gonna puke. The tats watch me intently. Am I going insane? Ouch, my head. What is it chattering about? They're staring and confused. Let me talk to them. Human, are you alright? You, I remember. You took my tattlelod. She's very angry. I don't know why I struggled to say that so much there. Oh, but I give it back to you. It's in your pocket now. I try to reach in my pocket and realise my hands are scratched to shreds. Ow, 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 ow. What's wrong with my hands? I try to stand. Ow, 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 my feet. What happened to me? Yeah, I guess that's from all the climbing. Told you, I wasn't ready for that. What's that? Ready for what? It's an anatomical structure is far too delicate. I tried to slow it down. Yeah, Floof, you tried restraining a human who's that determined. It was like the Marde. Its anatomical structure didn't seem that delicate to me. I was like, the what? Doing what? You made your own way back to the beach. Okay, but that doesn't explain. I show my bleeding hands. Ah, you crawled, Tara. Tara? Who's Tara? That's not my name. It's a term of endearment. It's an Irish then. Oh. Maybe I should be doing Irish accent. It's inappropriate. Wait, I crawled? You sure did. Like the tat? Yep. All the way from the mountains? Like the bleeding mountain lion. Impressive. He must be Irish, mustn't he? He's talking about Murphy. But why? Because you got the sickness. Shh. Maybe you should sit down, human. We need to have a talk. Possibly a long talk. Talk? Yes, that's right. Since when can tats talk? Oh, for goodness sake. Since the dawn of time. How else do you think we communicate? Ah, stop splitting whistles, Major. You know full well what the human's saying. I think the revelation here, Tara, is that you can understand us. Yes, that too. Will someone please explain what the hell's going on? Well, we don't fully understand everything ourselves. At least, not all the details of how this works. I think being stood in a forest surrounded by a bunch of talking tats is about as much detail as anybody would want. I agree, and more to the point, we were rather hoping you would be able to help us. You are the scientist, after all. What we do know is that the cloth has started ticking for you. What do you mean? Well, there's no easy way to say this to you, Tara. You'll be tatified. I'll be what? Whether you help or not, you don't have a lot of time before... if I may. It would seem, and we are basing this on our experiences to date, that when a human manages to find themselves in what I believe you call the danger zone, they are vulnerable in ways that they previously were not. That is to say, you're screwed. You're not helping. Don't make me... Whoa, Mountain Lion, there'll be no violence of any kind. Forgive me for being a bit panicked here. The vulnerability to which Snooty Booty was referring is simply put, if you are bitten or scratched by an elder tat within the danger zone, you'll begin a process of change that will ultimately result in a full feline transition. Tatified. So basically you're telling me I'm a were-tat. I look down, and in amongst the scratches in my right hand are two distinct puncture marks. The reality of my situation descends on me like a cold mist. Basically, yes, my head is spinning. This is too much for me to take in. Take the breath now, Tara. You're not looking so good. What, have I started to change? I feel my head for ears, fur, anything seems to be normal. No, I just meant you're looking a bit shitty. Understandably so. I take a few deep, steady breaths and calm myself enough to say, okay, so why, how, what? Give me some data, what have you got so far? Look, we'll answer anything that we can, but the truth is we have more questions than answers ourselves. So, you said you need my help, what exactly would that entail? Well, finding our friends will be a start. The tats on this island, they're going missing. We don't know what's happening to them, but the body count is rising, we've hit a wall. A wall of ignorance, maybe. Really, how many times do I have to tell you? The Muellers are to blame. Oh, Muellers. Now, Floofy Boot, there's no need for name-calling. Speaking of name-calling, I'll remind you to call me Major, madam. Look, they can't help the way they are, it's lack of breeding, you know. Overbreeding, if you asked me. A Dane, Muellers? They're the Elder Tats, the island originals. They can't speak the way we can, hence the derogatory term, Muellers. And how are they to blame exactly? Well, if I knew that, there would have been no need for this elaborate kidnapping. Maybe catnapping. It's hardly proving to be a roaring success after all. Look, Tara, all we really need to know is that you are no longer safe on this island. The elders who live within the danger zone are hostile towards us, not sure why, it's just always been that way, and now because Tats are being taken, nowhere else is safe either. You'd expect the occasional mishap. We live in an undomesticated world here, after all. But lately, Tats have been disappearing almost every day. Even the last human we tatified went missing. I'm sorry, what? Let's not open old wounds, Tibbles. Yes, onwards and upwards. Well, first things first, this weretat then. Tatification. Transition. How does it work? Time passes, then you transform into a tat. Yeah. It's a gradual process. It's different for everyone, but you just won't turn overnight. Cloth is tithing, however. First side effect of the transition is being able to understand as, well, some of us. Not the elders, obviously. Not all the domestics either. Then you have the whole heightened senses thing, the increased agility, the crazy body hair stuff. Let's not worry the human with all the details just yet. I assume there's an antidote. I'm afraid you're going to be disappointed in that assumption. Hang on, you said there was someone else who you put through this transition. Well, let's hope you're better than they were. Unfortunately, they weren't able to discover an antidote or get our friends back. I know where their notes are, though. Really? Trade. Huh? You help us, and I'll give you their progress reports. So what do you say, Tara? Will you help us? Yeah, I'll help the Tats! Not much of a choice, really, is it? Afraid not. Okay, fine. So where do I start? Is there anything you can tell me that will help me track down your missing friends? Will no one listen to sense? Start with the Muellers, and I'll eat my hat if it doesn't end there too. Don't mind him. He's set in his ways. We have every reason to believe the abductions take place in your part of the island. Yes, nowhere near the danger zone or the elders. Well, that doesn't make much sense, but I suppose nothing does around this place. My tattlod starts beeping. Oh, my alarm, I have to get to work. You're on alarm now. We don't want you arousing suspicions with your people. You can meet with us later. I'll make sure those reports are in your tent before this evening. Thanks, Tara. You're 1 in a million. I imagine the odds are far greater than that, given your new health status. Though, and thanks from all of us. Oh, it's a nice introduction to the characters. I like that a lot. So I assume that's the theme then. The theme is you talk, trying to just uncover this mystery on the island, and I assume at some point you date the Tats. After a rather painful journey, I am very grateful to finally jump into camp. I have just enough time to get myself tidied up for work, and I'm about to peel off my filthy pyjamas when I hear my tattlod beeping. I have a message, but I can't tell who it's from. It's not from any of the Tontats that Professor Purrfect programmed into it. In fact, there's no Tontat information at all. Are you sure it is wise to trust everyone? Anyone? What does that even mean? Who is this? There's a lot you don't know. Think carefully about who you confide in. Oh, interesting. That'll affect it then. Before I think of a reply, the messages are done, and my tattlod has no record of them. I don't have any time to think about this right now. I need to get ready. As soon as I'm presentable, I head over to the lab. I'm 10 minutes late. It doesn't have a good impression on my first morning. So that's Purrfect 8, which is available on Steam now. It seems pretty good. I'm going to crack on with this. I'll be putting a review up onto the website. That's 7 out of 10.co.uk soon. Thanks for watching, and if you liked the video, subscribe. If you didn't, then don't subscribe. But if you're already subscribed, maybe don't unsubscribe, because I am just hemorrhaging subscribers at the moment. It's a constant problem. I'm not really that bothered, to be honest. Bye!